Hi, y'all. Hey, look. Oh, I did it. I cut bangs. And I gave myself a little hairdo. Okay. This week we have to talk about fabulous hair. A lot of us, our hair is less than fabulous because it's not your fault. It's okay. It's not your fault. I understand. It's because all of our salons are closed. Some of us are kind of getting back online, but now the salons are crazy busy and they cannot fit you in for a really long time. Don't be mad at your hairdresser. They're trying. They're really trying. They've been walking around. Think about this. As a hairdresser, they've been walking around for like the last month, especially looking at everybody's hair and weeping in their hearts because hairdressers want to fix you. They want you to be beautiful. It's their dream. It's their goal. And trust me, they're crying themselves to sleep every night thinking about all the hideous hair that they encountered throughout the day. So, you remember how when the virus got to be really, really big and everybody was gearing up for it and it was kind of scary and we were getting all these weird emails and things on the news about, if you're a healthcare worker, if you've ever been in the healthcare professional, we're doing a recall. If you retired, if you stopped working in healthcare for whatever reason and you're able to come back just to add relief, to give aid to the professionals, we're begging you, please come back. Well, same applies here, but with hair. If you ever went to beauty school, if you ever held a license, if it just wasn't the job for you and you didn't stay in that profession for whatever reason, maybe you never went to beauty school, but you were the girl who did everybody's makeup and hair for prom or helped everybody get ready for picture day. You were the girl that everyone called up and said, help me, I don't know how to do this, I don't know how to do that, would you please do it? You were the one who combed everybody's hair in gym class. You're being recalled right now. Okay, here we go. Confessions. I did go to beauty school. I did have a license ever so briefly. I did do hair. I was the girl who fixed everybody else's hair. I cut my own hair for years and years and years. So you've seen my hair. Everybody, that I'm sure it explains a lot about all my little hairdos that I do all the time and how hard I am about my hair. I broke down and I gave myself bangs. And I also gave myself these little things. Really, what my hair looks like down is it's just all one length, more or less in the back. I cut it straight across in the back, just below my shoulders. It was one of those times where you take a chance and something turns out like way better than you expected. I'm really happy with this hair. Now, I'm here as one of those people who've been recalled to give you a few pointers on what's the word I'm looking for? What's the sprucing up, trimming up, just kind of sweeping in those loose ends, not looking quite so shabby, kind of getting a little something that'll perk up your spirits. I was kind of feeling bad. And when I did my hair, it made me feel so much better. Yeah, okay, I kind of look like charismatic church lady when it's down. It's okay, but I like to fix my hair. I know my hair. You know your hair too. You know what looks good. You know what works. That is rule number one. You know, have confidence, and do what you know usually looks good with your own hair. I'm not going into coloring, you guys. That is not my area. I'm a scissor person. I mean, look. I have all the scissors. I love to cut things. So tip number one, you know your hair, don't be afraid. Tip number two, if you're like me, your hair cutting scissors have been delegated. They've become so old that you've delegated them to other things. These cut paper now. They're very dull. I do have some scissors that I use for little emergency snips in my bathroom, but again, they're not that great. Tip number two, less is more. Do as little as possible with the greatest effect. This was a great effect, but I didn't do that much. I trimmed the bangs, kind of trimmed a little on the sides, but not much, and I just squared the bottom in the back. That's all I did. That was it. And then tip number 3, stop. Stop. When it looks okay, stop. It's hard. That's a hard one. It's hard. Once you get over the initial fear of cutting your own hair, you'll keep wanting to fix tags, and the next thing you know, you really wish you hadn't done that. So find a stopping place. If you observe rule number 2, tip number 2, less is more, tip number 3 will be much easier to follow. Stop. My last thing, and I'm just going to talk about how to do your scissors. You'll want to hold and cut like this, but if you're like me and your scissors are super dull and you never cut hair and don't do this, because they're so dull that they just push your hair in a direction. The best way to cut a straight line is to snip. Hold the hair down like this and snip the ends kind of at an angle. Let's see. I'll get a piece of paper and I'll show you. Oh, this is a good idea. I didn't even think about this. Okay. All right. So here's a piece of paper. Let's pretend these are my bangs. Now, you'll want to do like this to cut them, right? Like that. But your hair doesn't do that. When you do it, it just pushes it. You know what I'm talking about because we've all done it. Okay, take the ends of your scissors and snip at kind of an angle using the end. And if you can, then come back this way. You see? See how that does? It's sort of, now, that's what it looks like on paper. But your hair hangs all different. It'll look good, trust me. And it'll kind of not make that straight, choppy line. It'll just look like your hair sort of grew that way. It covers a multitude of sins. Then you're not so hard on yourself. Then you don't see those outstanding bad whacks, and you're just cutting a little hair at a time. That way you're just getting a little. The end is kind of like that, but because it's hair, it'll just look like, I don't know, my hair is just accidentally fabulous. I don't know. So anyway, I did that on the top. I did that in the back. With bangs, start at the tip of your nose, and if they're because they're going to bounce. When you take the weight off, they're going to bounce up. So just do a little, go long first and work your way up a little at a time. And what was that third tip? Stop. Second tip, less is more. Third tip, stop. 1, confidence. 2, less is more. 3, know when to stop. And 4, little at a time, little at a time. Don't do the chunks, little at a time. Okay. Where did this hairdo come from? I've been watching stuff that with British people, and this seems to be the look right now with these 2 long things kind of hanging down right here and the bangs. Those Brits love their bangs. All right, hair class is over. Everybody's fabulous. It makes you feel really good and special. And now look at this. I think I love this doll more than any doll I've ever made. And that's saying something. You guys know how much I love my dolls. She is beautiful. I love the size of this doll. She is an excellent size. She feels good in my hands. She's very limber. She has a nice big face. It's very sweet. She has a lovely profile. I love her profile. So pretty. Look at the layers. All right. So this was her petticoat. It was originally, it ended right here where this lace is. I added another length, I guess, because when I changed her legs got longer. Her beginning legs did not look good. Did I talk about that last time? I don't know if I did. I was following the instructions for her in an old sewing book, Women's Day, blah, blah, blah. The Women's Day book, the Woman's Day book of Soft Toys and Dolls by Joan Russell. I think I did. I showed you the pictures. When I got through, and I'll have some pictures up here to show you, her arms and legs are woefully short and odd looking. And then when I made this really pretty petticoat, I couldn't stand it. So when I put her new legs and arms on, which were pirated from another doll pattern that I had, she looked great, but I wanted to keep the long dress of the time period, so I added an extra, instead of making a new petticoat, I added an extra length. Really glad I did that. Okay, so let's give her a peel. A peel, I mean like a banana, peel her down. So I don't have her little snaps on yet, so I'm going to take these off. You'll find that underneath this is a unfinished undergarment. This is her little, I don't know, what do you call it, a shimmy or I don't know. It's got a name. I can't remember what it is. I haven't finished the sleeves yet, but it's very, very basic. It's just basically 2 triangles with a neck hole and some armholes sewn together, more or less made to fit her, but that will go underneath. That is the layer that people used to wear to protect their clothes from their body sweat and dirt, because it was a lot easier to clean this than it was to clean the overgarments, which were made out of textiles that were very expensive or very laborious to make. So you always wanted to protect your beautiful clothes with your underclothes. So those are there. Then I made also, and these are almost finished, peel, peel, peel the girl. Her some bloomers. You know I'm big on the bloomers, but we'll also be able to see her arms and legs too. If I can get her clothes off. There we go. I want to be careful. I don't want to snatch them off. I'm so proud. Every bit of her is hand stitched. Every single stitch on all her clothes, her body, her hair, her face, everything is by hand. I hate to brag. Maybe I like it just a little bit. I'm going to brag. Oh, I did it all by hand. She came together so beautifully, and as you can see, her arms and legs are much more appropriate with this length. Just love it. Now, I've discovered a new method of embellishment. If you can see the ends of her little pants, they call them tucks, but they're like little pleats on the bottom. 1/8 inch pleats. Again, all hand stitched. And here you can see it on her petticoat with the lace. It's nice because it makes the petticoat stand out underneath her dress, you know, and give volume. I love it. I love it. It just turned out better. Like the hair, better than I expected. All right, let's be honest. Sometimes you try something and it looks hideous and it's embarrassing and it's awful. Sometimes your hair looks great and sometimes it looks awful. Thus, the less is more tip. But sometimes you take a chance, you stretch yourself, you try something scary and new, and it works out. Oh, it feels so good. So anyway, take a look at my Facebook unless you're already there. Take a look at my YouTube channel unless you're already there. Please go visit my Etsy page, even though it's the worst and I need to update it badly. There will be some new things on there. One of my monkeys has already been grabbed. A friend gave me a call and said, I want that monkey. So there's one left. I'll try to get him on my Etsy page for you. I'm going to sell her, which is breaking my heart because I'm real tempted to keep her, but she's gorgeous. She needs a home. When I get her dress finished, you'll see it. Try not to go insane. Oh, and my co-host is here. Look, he's asleep, but I'm going to make him wake up. Oh, come here. Come here. Oh, it's Sleepy Boy. Sleepy puppy boy. He doesn't understand that I have makeup on. He doesn't get it. He's like, what is that on your face? Who are you? Dog friends. Okay. And keep yourself busy. Say hey to all your buds. We're all shut in, but it can't last forever. And go get your hair done. Or if you feel really brave, cut your own. But the best thing to do really is to find that friend that kind of knows how to cut hair and get her over there. Wear your mask. Do whatever you got to do to feel comfortable about that. But it'll lift your spirits. So thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And we'll see what happens next. Bye.